Welcome, dear viewers, to our channel, where every story has a secret and every mystery has meaning. We take you beyond the headlines and deep into the truth that time has buried. Get ready to see the world like never before. Now we explore, explain, the rise and fall of the Titans, the epic war between the old gods and Olympus.
In the beginning, before time had meaning, before the heavens took shape or the earth found form, there was only chaos, an endless, silent expanse, neither dark nor light, neither matter nor void, but pure potential. It was a realm without direction or boundary, an infinite stillness waiting for creation to awaken. From this eternal emptiness, the first primordial beings were born, forces that would shape the universe and all existence to come. Chaos gave rise to Gaia, the broad-bosomed earth, foundation of all life; Tartarus, the deep abyss beneath the world; Eros, the god of attraction and creation; and soon after came Erebus, the darkness of shadow, and Nyx, the goddess of night. From their union were born Aether, the bright upper air, and Hemera, the goddess of day, bringing the first cycles of light and shadow into existence. The dance of day and night, light and darkness, became the heartbeat of the cosmos. As Gaia emerged from the formless void, she took shape as the solid, fertile earth. From her soil rose mountains, valleys, and oceans, vast, lifeless landscapes awaiting purpose. Yet Gaia felt incomplete. She desired a counterpart, a being who could cover her expanse and bring balance to her creation. Out of her longing, she gave birth to Uranus, the sky, whose brilliant body spread across her, adorned with the first stars. The union of earth and sky was the first divine harmony, and from their love, the first generation of true gods came into being. Together, Gaia and Uranus produced the Titans, the mighty divine beings who embodied aspects of the universe itself. There were 12 Titans, each vast in power and eternal in form. Oceanus, the god of the great encircling river that surrounded the world; Cuus, the titan of intellect and inquiry; Crius, associated with constellations and heavenly order; Hyperion, the titan of light, whose gaze reached beyond the sun; Iapetus, the father of mortals and symbol of mortality; and the youngest, Cronus, destined to become the ruler of all. The 6 female titans were no less powerful: Thea, goddess of shining light; Rhea, goddess of fertility and motherhood; Themis, the goddess of divine order and justice; Mnemosyne, the embodiment of memory and time; Phoebe, goddess of prophecy and the moon; and Tethys, goddess of rivers and nourishment. From their union were born Aether, the bright upper air, and Hemera, the goddess of day, bringing the first cycles of light and shadow into existence. Yet not all of Gaia's children were as beautiful or majestic. From her womb also came the Cyclopes, gigantic beings with a single blazing eye, symbols of lightning and craftsmanship; and the Hecatoncheires, beings of unspeakable might, each with 100 arms and 50 heads, embodiments of raw chaos and destruction. To Uranus, these monstrous offspring were an abomination. He feared their strength and despised their form, believing that their existence would threaten his reign over the cosmos. Consumed by fear and pride, Uranus cast them deep into Tartarus, the dark abyss beneath the world, sealing them away from the light of creation. Their cries echoed through the depths, and Gaia's heart broke with grief. Though she loved Uranus, his cruelty toward their children ignited in her a rage deeper than the oceans and older than time itself. Gaia's pain became unbearable. Her love turned to vengeance, and she vowed that Uranus's tyranny would end. From the sacred depths of her being, she forged a sickle made of adamantine, a blade harder than any metal, sharp enough to sever even the divine. With this weapon in hand, she sought a champion among her children, one who would be brave enough to challenge their father and liberate the imprisoned beings of Tartarus. One by one, the Titans hesitated. None dared raise a hand against the mighty sky, whose power stretched across all creation. Only Cronus, the youngest and most cunning of them all, stepped forward. Ambition burned in his eyes, and his mother's whispers filled him with courage and deceit. Gaia handed him the sickle and set her plan into motion.
That night, as Uranus descended to lay with Gaia, the earth trembled beneath his weight. The stars shimmered as the sky bent low, unaware of the trap that awaited him. From the darkness, Cronus emerged, his heart pounding with the pulse of destiny. With one swift and terrible strike, he severed Uranus, separating the heavens from the earth.
The cry that followed was the first scream in creation, a sound that shook the cosmos to its core. From Uranus's blood that fell upon the soil, Gaia bore new beings, the Erinyes, the Furies, goddesses of vengeance, the giants, fierce warriors born of wrath, and the Meliae, nymphs of the ash trees. From the sea, where Uranus's severed form fell, white foam gathered, and from it rose Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, radiant and divine. Cronus had triumphed, Uranus was dethroned, and the sky retreated to the farthest reaches of the heavens. The young Titan stood victorious, the sickle dripping with divine ichor, and his siblings hailed him as the new ruler of creation. Gaia smiled, her vengeance complete, but her heart carried the weight of a mother's sorrow. Uranus, before fading into the celestial void, uttered a curse upon his son. As you have overthrown me, so too shall your own child overthrow you. These words would echo through eternity, shaping the fate of gods and mortals alike. Thus ended the rule of Uranus, and the age of the Titans began. Under Cronus's rule, a new era unfolded, the Golden Age, an age of peace, abundance, and divine order. There was no suffering, no war, and no aging. The rivers ran with honey, the fields yielded fruit without toil, and humanity, still young and pure, lived in harmony with nature. Cronus ruled as the king of the universe, seated upon a throne of polished stone high in the heavens. His wisdom and strength seemed unmatched, and his reign brought balance to creation. The Titans spread across the cosmos, each taking their domain. Oceanus governed the vast waters that encircled the world. Hyperion guided the movement of the sun and stars. Themis maintained divine justice and order. Mnemosyne preserved the memory of all things, and Rhea, Cronus's sister and queen, nurtured life across the earth. Mortals thrived beneath the watchful gaze of the Titans. They lived in simplicity, uncorrupted by greed or ambition. There were no kings or laws, for none were needed. The voice of nature was law enough. The seasons moved in gentle harmony, and the gifts of the earth were plentiful. It was said that even the gods themselves walked among mortals in those days, teaching them the ways of life and reverence. Cronus was revered as a just and benevolent ruler, a god of time and cycles, for under his rule the world seemed timeless, untouched by decay. Songs of praise rose from mountain and sea alike, glorifying the era of peace that stretched across all existence. But beneath the surface of paradise, the seeds of fear were beginning to grow. Cronus could not forget the prophecy spoken by his father. Every time he looked into the eyes of his queen, he saw the shadow of betrayal. He feared the coming of a child that would one day cast him down, just as he had cast down Uranus. Fate, he believed, could be outrun if he acted swiftly and without mercy. Thus began the chain of events that would turn the Golden Age into an age of terror. Cronus's paranoia grew, and his once noble heart hardened into stone.
When Rhea bore their first child, a daughter named Hestia, Cronus felt both love and dread. He gazed upon the infant's divine glow and remembered the curse. Without hesitation, he swallowed the child whole, imprisoning her in the depths of his stomach. Rhea's cries filled the heavens, but Cronus silenced her pleas. When their next children, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon, were born, he devoured each of them in turn, believing that by consuming his offspring, he could defy destiny itself. Rhea's sorrow grew with every birth, until her heart could bear no more. The once joyous mother of life became a goddess of grief, wandering the mountains in despair. Despite her suffering, Rhea's spirit was not broken. When she was once again with child, she sought the aid of Gaia, her mother, who had once helped overthrow Uranus. Gaia listened to Rhea's cries and devised a plan to save the newborn. When the time came for the child's birth, Rhea fled to the island of Crete, where she gave birth in secret to a son named Zeus. She hid the infant in a cave on Mount Ida, where he was nursed by the divine goat Amalthea and protected by the Curetes, armored warriors who clashed their shields to drown out the baby's cries. To deceive Cronus, Rhea wrapped a stone in swaddling cloth and presented it as her child.
Cronus, blinded by fear and arrogance, swallowed the stone without hesitation, believing he had secured his throne once again. Meanwhile, hidden in the shadows of Crete, the young Zeus grew under the care of nymphs and spirits. He learned the secrets of nature, the laws of the cosmos, and the truth of his father's tyranny. From Gaia he received wisdom, from the spirits of the sky he received strength, and from the divine order itself he received destiny. The prophecy of Uranus, carried through generations, waited in silence for its fulfillment. The Golden Age continued outwardly, but within the heart of its ruler, darkness reigned. Cronus's paranoia deepened with each passing year. The more he feared fate, the closer he drew to it. The world that once thrived in peace now trembled beneath the weight of time. Though mortals still sang praises of abundance, the divine realm was heavy with unrest. The other titans watched their king's descent into madness, but dared not speak. Cronus ruled with a mixture of wisdom and terror, his justice growing cruel, his laughter hollow. The heavens remained bright, but the heart of creation had begun to dim. And thus, the stage was set for the next great upheaval, the birth of rebellion, the rise of Zeus, and the war that would shake the very foundations of the universe. The age of the Titans, though glorious and vast, stood upon the edge of its own ruin. For in every act of creation lies the seed of destruction, and in every ruler's triumph, the whisper of downfall.
The reign of Cronus continued across the ages, stretching far beyond mortal comprehension. The Golden Age had not yet faded, though its brilliance had begun to wane beneath the weight of fear. The King of the Titans ruled over heaven and earth, his authority absolute, his name revered by gods and mortals alike. To the people of the world, his era was still one of harmony. Crops grew without toil, rivers flowed in abundance, and death was but a distant dream. Yet behind the divine splendor, Cronus's rule was shadowed by paranoia. He ruled with both wisdom and terror, for though his might was great, his heart was enslaved to the prophecy of his downfall. Every echo of laughter, every whisper of the wind seemed to mock him with the curse of Uranus. Just as you have overthrown me, so too shall your own child overthrow you. Cronus sought to silence fate, but fate, eternal and patient, cannot be denied. Within him the swallowed gods stirred, his children, trapped yet undying, imprisoned in the living darkness of their father's form. The divine essence within him made him restless, his dreams haunted by visions of rebellion. He could hear their muffled cries in his mind like the rumble of thunder beneath calm skies. The other titans began to notice the changes in their king. Once proud and radiant, Cronus's eyes grew distant, his voice sharpened by suspicion. He ruled with a heavy hand, seeking control over every whisper of creation. Even Rhea, his queen, became little more than a silent shadow beside him, her once warm heart hardened by grief. Yet deep in the hidden cave on Mount Ida, the child of prophecy was growing. Zeus, the youngest son of Cronus and Rhea, thrived under the care of divine spirits. The nymph Amalthea nursed him with the milk of her goat, and the Corotes, the armored guardians of Crete, danced and clashed their shields to conceal his cries from the ears of heaven. As he grew, the boy gazed upon the stars and felt the pulse of destiny within him. He was unlike any being before him, neither fully Titan nor entirely of the new divine essence that would one day be called Olympian. He learned from the whispers of Gaia, who watched over him as she had guided his mother before. She told him of the crimes of his father, the fall of Uranus, and the curse that had yet to be fulfilled. From that day forward, Zeus's heart burned with purpose. When Zeus reached his divine maturity, Gaia led him to seek the counsel of Medusa, the tightness of wisdom and cunning. She taught him the ancient secrets of fate, of time, and of the art of patience. Your father fears prophecy, but prophecy is not your enemy, it is your guide. Destiny is not to be fought with force, but to be shaped with wisdom. Guided by her counsel, Zeus devised a plan to confront his father, not with open war, but with deception. Disguising himself as a humble cupbearer, Zeus entered the service of Cronus. The Titan king, oblivious to his true identity, welcomed him, for Zeus's charm and intellect were unmatched. Day after day, the young god served him nectar and ambrosia, biding his time, observing the flaws in his dominion. He saw the fear that ruled Cronus's heart, the mistrust that kept the Titans divided. The once united pantheon had become fragmented, each sibling ruling their own domain, isolated and suspicious of one another. Cronus trusted no one, not even Oceanus, who had remained neutral in his rise, nor Themis, who still preached the laws of divine balance. When the moment was right, Zeus acted. Medusa, his divine ally, had prepared a powerful potion crafted from the roots of the underworld and the waters of creation. It was a mixture designed to break the bonds of Cronus's unnatural hunger, to force him to regurgitate all that he had consumed. One evening, as the stars gleamed coldly over the heavens, Zeus poured the potion into his father's cup and handed it to him with bowed head. Cronus, weary from the weight of eternity, drank deeply. The potion burned like fire through his veins, and a terrible roar shook the throne room of the Titans.
In agony, Cronus clutched his stomach as waves of divine energy surged within him. One by one, his swallowed children were expelled from his body, each emerging in their full immortal form: Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon, their divine light filling the heavens. The world trembled as the balance of power shifted. The prophecy of Uranus had come true. Cronus's eyes filled with rage and disbelief as he beheld his grown children, free and radiant before him. He reached for his sickle, but the time for fear was over. Zeus, revealing his true form, stood tall before his father and declared, "Your reign ends today. The world will no longer bow to tyranny." Cronus, consumed by wrath, summoned his Titan brothers and sisters to his side. The heavens split as Titanomachy, the greatest war in mythic history, began. The world that had once known peace now echoed with thunder and fire. Rhea wept, knowing that her family was torn apart by the same cycle of rebellion that had destroyed Uranus. Some Titans, loyal to Cronus, took up arms against the younger gods, Atlas, Hyperion, Iapetus, and Krios among them. Others, fearing the destruction that loomed, chose to remain neutral or secretly aided Zeus. Themis and Mnemosyne, keepers of order and memory, foresaw that the old age was destined to end and the new age of Olympians was inevitable. The Olympians, still young and fewer in number, sought allies among the ancient beings of the world. Guided by Gaia's wisdom, Zeus descended into Tartarus, the same abyss where Uranus had cast the monstrous children of Gaia long ago. There he found the Cyclops and Hecatonchires, imprisoned for eons, their bodies bound by chains of divine metal. With his thunderous voice, Zeus called out to them, "Sons of Gaia, forgotten by time, I am your kin and your deliverer. Aid me and I shall grant you freedom and honor." The great beings, their fury unbroken by centuries of imprisonment, roared in agreement. In gratitude, the Cyclops forged weapons for the Olympians: Zeus's thunderbolts, Poseidon's trident, and Hades' helm of invisibility, each infused with cosmic power. The Hecatonchires, towering and mighty, pledged their allegiance, ready to shake the very foundations of creation in battle. Meanwhile, Cronus fortified his stronghold atop Mount Othrys, gathering his Titan legions. The air shimmered with divine energy as the armies of the old gods assembled. The sea churned under the command of Oceanus, the stars dimmed as Hyperion prepared his celestial fire, and the mountains trembled beneath the march of divine warriors. From Mount Olympus, Zeus rallied his siblings and allies. Poseidon stood beside him, his trident gleaming like captured lightning. Hades cloaked himself in shadow, unseen but ever present, and the goddesses Hera, Demeter, and Hestia channeled the strength of creation itself. The universe held its breath as two generations of gods prepared to clash for the throne of existence.
The first battle of Titanomachy erupted with unimaginable fury. The skies burned as thunderbolts collided with torrents of flame. The earth split open, swallowing mountains and releasing rivers of molten rock. The sea rose in towering waves, flooding the lowlands of creation. Zeus hurled his lightning with divine precision, striking down legions of titans. Poseidon shattered the earth with his trident, and Hades unleashed shadows that devoured the light. But the titans were not easily defeated. Cronus, wielding his sickle of adamantine, cut through storms and fire alike. Atlas lifted mountains and hurled them at Olympus. Hyperion's flames scorched the heavens. Aepus wielded weapons of sheer force, his strikes echoing like earthquakes. The battle raged on for years, 10 long years by divine reckoning, though mortals would have called it an eternity. Neither side could gain the upper hand. The very fabric of creation trembled beneath their war. Oceans boiled, mountains crumbled, and the stars flickered like dying embers. Even Gaia groaned in agony as her children tore each other apart. Seeing her creation on the brink of ruin, she called out once more to Zeus. "My son," she said, "if you wish to end this war, you must free the power buried within me. The Hecatoncheires have not yet unleashed their full strength. Trust them, and the balance shall be restored." Zeus heeded her call. He summoned the Hecatoncheires from the depths and commanded them to fight with all their might. The colossal beings, each as vast as mountains, hurled stones and lightning together, shaking the cosmos. Cronus's army faltered beneath their onslaught. The earth thundered with each strike of their 100 arms, and the Titans, once so proud and invincible, began to fall. Cronus, defiant to the end, raised his sickle for one final strike, but Zeus caught it with his lightning and shattered it into fragments. The sound of breaking metal rang across the heavens, the sound of an era ending. As Cronus fell to his knees, he looked upon Zeus and saw not hatred, but destiny fulfilled. "You have done as I did," he said bitterly. "You have become what you sought to destroy." Zeus, his voice steady as thunder, replied, "I have become what I must to bring order from chaos." The sky darkened as the Titan king was bound in chains of unbreakable metal forged by the Cyclops themselves. His reign was over. The Titans who stood beside him were captured, their divine essence dimmed but not destroyed. The great war had ended, and the cosmos grew silent once more. The Olympians, victorious but weary, stood upon the ruins of the old world. Zeus looked out over the horizon and saw the dawn breaking over the mountains of Olympus. A new age was about to begin, an age not of titans, but of gods. Yet even in victory, Zeus understood the weight of his inheritance. The prophecy had come true, as it always would. The cycle of power, the rise, the reign, and the fall was eternal. The titans were gone, but their memory would linger in the bones of the earth and the depths of Tartarus. And so, with the war's end, the heavens fell into silence. The last cries of the Titans echoed through the abyss, fading into history. The stars, once dimmed by battle, burned bright again. The rivers calmed, the mountains stood firm, and life began to stir anew. The rule of Cronus had ended. The age of Zeus had dawned. But the story was far from over, for every age of gods carries within it the seeds of the next rebellion, the next fall. The universe itself is built upon the endless rhythm of creation and destruction, of order rising from chaos and chaos reclaiming its due. The world had entered the age of the Olympians, but deep in the forgotten corners of Tartarus, the imprisoned Titans stirred restlessly. Among them was Atlas, condemned to bear the weight of the heavens upon his shoulders for all eternity, a punishment that would stand as a monument to divine rebellion. In the darkness, Cronus brooded,
his thoughts burning like smoldering embers. The prophecy had come to pass, but even he knew that time, the very force he embodied, was not yet done with his children. For in the vast tapestry of fate, no victory is permanent, and no fall is forever.
Silence followed the war of gods. The air above Mount Othrys still shimmered with the ghosts of lightning, and the seas below boiled from the heat of divine fire. Across the ruined valleys of the world, mountains had been split apart, rivers had changed their courses, and the very sky had been scarred with cracks of gold where thunder had torn the heavens open. Yet from this devastation rose a new light, the promise of renewal. Zeus, son of Cronus and Rhea, stood at the edge of creation and looked upon the silent battlefield. The Titans had fallen, their cries swallowed by the abyss. His brothers and sisters gathered beside him, Hades cloaked in shadow, Poseidon bearing the salt of oceans, Hera radiant yet stern, Demeter calm as the fertile earth, and Hestia glowing with the quiet warmth of home. Together they were the new pantheon, the architects of order born from chaos. But victory brought with it burden. The Titans, though defeated, were immortal. They could not be slain, only bound. Zeus knew that as long as they lived, the memory of rebellion would never fade. So he called upon the Hecatoncheires, those monstrous allies of 100 hands, and commanded them to build a prison deep beneath the earth, Tartarus, the abyss without light. Into that void the Titans were cast, one by one. Cronus, once king of the Golden Age, was bound in chains of adamant and lowered into the pit where even time stood still. Iapetus, Krios, Koios, and Hyperion followed him, their roars echoing like storms trapped in stone. Only Atlas was given a punishment apart. Zeus decreed that he would stand at the western edge of the world, his shoulders forever bearing the dome of heaven as penance for his defiance. Thus ended the age of the Titans, the first gods of the cosmos, consigned to eternal memory. In the stillness that followed, the Olympians turned to the task of rebuilding creation. The earth had been scarred by their war, valleys yawned open like wounds, and the seas wept over broken shores. Gaia herself was weary, her heart heavy with sorrow for her lost children. Zeus approached her with reverence and spoke, "Mother of all things, your strength endures even when ours falter. Grant me your wisdom that we may restore the balance we have shattered." Gaia, though grieving, looked upon the new king and saw the fire of destiny in his eyes. "Then rule wisely, child of the storm, but remember that no ruler, however mighty, escapes the turning of fate, for the wheel of time grinds all thrones to dust." These words planted in Zeus the seed of humility, though pride often sought to smother it. He and his siblings took their thrones upon Mount Olympus, the new seat of divine power rising above the clouds. There they divided the realms by lot. Zeus received the heavens and the rule over gods and men. Poseidon claimed the vast oceans, commanding the tides and storms. Hades took the underworld, guarding the souls of the dead. The sisters held dominion over the sacred cycles of life, Hera over marriage and sovereignty, Demeter over the harvest, and Hestia glowing with the quiet warmth of home. The new order of gods flourished. The skies regained their brilliance, the seas calmed, and the earth blossomed once again. Humanity, born from clay and divine breath, looked upward to Olympus and worshipped the new rulers as bringers of justice and light. It was said that even the stars aligned to honor Zeus's coronation, burning brighter than ever before. The Golden Age had given way to the Age of Olympus, a time of both splendor and imperfection, for even gods carry the flaws of their lineage.
Yet deep in the shadows of Tartarus, the Titans stirred.
Bound though they were, their hatred endured like molten rock beneath the crust of the earth. Cronus sat upon a throne of darkness, his mind sharp as ever. He whispered to his brethren of revenge, of time's endless cycle that even Zeus could not escape. He believes himself eternal, Cronus said, his voice echoing like thunder through the void. But I am time, and time devours all things, even the sons of gods. His words kindled a faint tremor across the earth, a reminder that the past never truly dies. Zeus felt it in the wind, a faint pulse beneath the calm. He gathered his council, the 12 Olympians who would become legends in their own right. Among them were Athena, born from his own mind in a burst of light, Apollo and Artemis, twin children of the sun and moon, Ares, the god of war, Hermes, the swift messenger, Hephaestus, the divine craftsman, and Aphrodite, whose beauty could bend hearts like the tides. Together they debated how to preserve order in a universe still raw from war. Hera spoke of law, Poseidon of power, and Hades of fear. But it was Athena who said, "The rule of Olympus will last only as long as wisdom tempers strength." Her words found echo in Zeus's heart, and he decreed that the new age would not be built on conquest, but on balance between gods, nature, and mortals. However, peace is never perfect. As centuries passed, old hatreds brewed anew. Some of the Titans' offspring escaped Tartarus and sowed chaos among mortals. Giants rose from the earth, challenging the new gods. The heavens thundered once more, as the Gigantomachy, the war of giants, erupted. But Zeus and his kin prevailed again, aided by heroes yet unborn, mortal champions whose courage bridged the gap between God and man. Each battle, each rebellion reminded the gods that their dominion, though vast, was not absolute. Fate, unseen and inexorable, waited patiently for its turn. In time, the myths of the Titans faded from the tongues of men, though their presence lingered in the bones of mountains and the depths of the sea. Mortals called them the elder gods, the architects of an age long past. Temples rose to honor Zeus and his kin, and the world entered an era of stories, tales of heroism, betrayal, and divine love. Yet beneath the glory of Olympus, shadows whispered of the old days when the Titans ruled and Cronus's sickle gleamed beneath starlight. Zeus himself was haunted by these whispers. At night he dreamed of his father's voice echoing through eternity. "As you have done to me, so shall be done to you." He would wake to the rumble of distant thunder and the uneasy knowledge that prophecy does not end, it only sleeps. For even as he ruled, Gaia bore within her the child of rebellion yet to come, a child destined to challenge the Olympians, just as Zeus had overthrown the Titans. The cycle would begin anew, as it always had since the dawn of creation.
As the ages passed and the world changed, the story of their rise and fall became legend, then memory, then myth. Yet whenever thunder rolls across the sky or the earth quakes beneath our feet, the echoes of the Titans are said to stir once more, reminding gods and mortals alike that no age, however golden, is eternal. The heavens may change their rulers, the stars may shift their patterns, but the song of creation continues, an endless rhythm of birth, struggle, and renewal. From the depths of Tartarus to the heights of Olympus, their saga endures. The Titans may have fallen, but in their fall they gave shape to everything that followed. The order of the cosmos, the rule of the gods, and the destiny of humankind. Their story is the heartbeat of mythology itself, the eternal dance between light and darkness, between the dream of immortality and the truth of inevitable change. And so the curtain falls on the age of the Titans, but not on the myth. For every storm that shakes the heavens, every mountain that pierces the clouds, every flicker of lightning that splits the night sky is a memory of that first cosmic struggle, the day the Titans rose and the day they fell, giving birth to a new world.